Some simple programs in C language. Look at this program. The program to read and write any character. As you know, to read any type of data in C language, we use scanf. To write any type of data, we use printf. Line number 4 is your declaration statement. Char C semicolon is your declaration statement. Char is data type and C is a variable. So for integer, %d, float, %f, char, %c, format specifications. So what happens when you run the program? You run the program, you get the message, enter the character, I enter Q, and you entered Q. The question is to read and write. So run again, enter any 2 characters and check what happens. It accepts only 1 character. Even if you enter 2 characters, it accepts only 1 character. So run again, enter any character. I'm just giving a number, it accepts the number. Look at that. I entered 1, 2, you get 1. So even the number 1, 2 is treated as 2 characters. So look at this program. This is to read and write any number. Integer number. Look at line number 4, your declaration statement. Int number. Number is a variable here. The name of the variable can be anything. We need to follow certain rules while naming a variable in C language. So you run this, enter the number, you get the number. The question is to read and write. So run again, enter some character, something like HAI, and check what happens. You get 0. It's not accepting. And run again and enter 12.45 and check what happens. It takes integer because the variables are declared as integer only. So look at this again, the same program. Instead of number, I just made it n. As I told you, the variable name can be anything. The rules to be followed while naming variables, you can refer the video which is available in our channel. And this program is to read and write a real number. A real number is a number with decimal point. So we use the term float. If I am using float, I am supposed to use %f. So you enter some 12.345 and check what happened. You enter 12.345000. This is important. After decimal point, 6 digits. But my input is 12.345. After decimal point, I entered only 3 digits. By default, %f takes 6 digits after the decimal point. So what happens if I enter 123? Check it out, 123.000006 zeros after the decimal point. So what happens if I enter hello? It won't accept. By default, it's giving 0. So this is to read and write any string. A string is nothing but group of characters. %s. Look at line number 4, the declaration statement. M is a variable, within brackets 100 is the size of the string. I can take up to 100 characters. Look at that line number 6, scanf. %, that symbol, everything is completely in a different way. And if you observe the things, I don't have and symbol in scanf. Every variable must be preceded by ampersand symbol in scanf, but here it is not so. To read and write any string, so you run the program and enter hi and just check it out what happens. Whatever you enter, you get the same string. The program to read and write any string. Now I have two words, hi and hello, separated by space. Now what happens? You get the same. So I made a small change in scanf. I use %s notation here. And what happens if I use %s? You run the program and your input is SCI and you get the same thing, as this is to read and write any string. Run again. Now check it out. I given two words, size space RAM. Now I get only SCI. So what is the disadvantage of %s is it accepts only one word string. In this input I have two words separated by one space. So it accepts only one word string. That is the reason why we don't prefer %s in reading any string in scanf. So look at the program to read and write any character which we discussed. Instead of scanf I used getChar. Instead of printf I used putChar. Look at that, getChar, putChar, these two input output functions. GetChar is to read any character from keyboard. Just observe one thing, I didn't use %c notation here. Similarly, putChar is to write any character on screen. Even in putChar also we don't use any %c notation. To read and write any string, I used getS and putS here instead of scanf with %s. GetChar is to read only one character from keyboard, whereas getS to read a string from keyboard. Similarly, putS is to write any string. So run the program, give your input as SCI, you get SCI, and run again. You give a string as SciRAM and you get SciRAM. This is important. As we discussed earlier, the disadvantage of a %s is it won't accept multi-word string, but here it accepts multi-word string if I use getS and putS.